Hi everyone, it's Jennifer from Flux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to crochet the Leafy Lariat. This is a pretty little statement necklace that you can wear. It's easy to wear, you just tie it right on. Now I've done 3 strands for kind of a layered multicolor effect. You can do all one color, you can just do one strand. And each one of these strands, this is actually 3 parts. So I made one in this taupe yarn, one in this like pretty kind of rusty pumpkin color yarn, and this green. So it's actually 3 parts, and then you just wear them together like the photo at the beginning of this video. This is easy to make, and it's a great way to practice some stitches. We're going to be using a variety of stitches in this video. So let's get started. Each one of these strands that we've created measures about 40 inches. Now, depending on the amount of chains you do in between your leaves, you can make yours shorter if you want more of like a choker style necklace, or you can make it very long and you can even add more strands. Now, or you can wear it with 1 strand. So it's totally up to you. It's very customizable. For this project, you'll need a 6mm J crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle. As an option, you can use a ruler or tape measure if you'd like to change the size of your lariat, or you can just simply try it on as you go, as you're making your chains. The yarn that I'll be using is Lion Brand's Vanna's Choice in the taupe colorway, Lion Brand's Heartland yarn in the Yosemite colorway, and Lion Brand's Heartland yarn in the Joshua Tree colorway. So if you'd like to substitute yarn, just look for something with a similar weight of these yarns. Okay, so I went ahead and made the green and the taupe lariat pieces, and we're going to be making this orange one together, and then later we're going to incorporate all of them to make our necklace. Okay, so let me just show you really quickly how this is made. So this is all one piece. We're not going to be sewing leaves on, it's all one piece. So we're going to start by making a leaf and then extend up to make our chain, and then finish by adding a leaf to the other end. So this is a really quick project, and you can make as many strands as you want. Like I mentioned before, you could just have 1, or you could do a whole bunch of them. We're going to be doing our 3, and we'll make our 3rd one together. And at the end of this video, I'll show you how to finish everything off, and also how to kind of style it a little bit so that all the leaves kind of cascade down. Okay, so to begin, what we're going to do is put a slip knot on our hook. Wrap the yarn around your fingers to make a loop, bring the yarn behind the loop, reach in with your hook, bring up the loop, and tighten. Next, we're going to make a chain 4 and then be joining it to make a ring to work our stitches into, okay? So to make a chain, wrap yarn around the hook and bring it through the loop. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now in this chain farthest from our hook, that first chain we did, we're going to join with a slip stitch to create the ring. So insert the hook into that chain, bring up a loop, now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. We now have the ring that we're going to be working our stitches into. If you need to open it up, that's fine. And then go ahead and hold the tail along the edges you work, and that will weave that in as well. Okay, so like I mentioned before, we're going to begin with this first leaf, work all the way around, and then end with the last leaf, okay? So we're going to start by making 2 double crochets into the center of the ring. To make a double crochet, wrap yarn around hook, insert the hook into the center of the ring, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the last 2 loops. That's 1 double crochet, then work another double crochet into the center of the ring. Next, we're going to work 5 single crochets. So insert the hook into the center, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through both loops. Okay, so that's 1, then 2, then 3, 4, and 5. I wanted to mention too, we're working lots of stitches into the center here, so if you need to just kind of push things over a bit, that's okay too, okay? Next, we're going to make the top little point of our leaf. So we're going to work a treble crochet into the center of the ring. Wrap yarn around hook 2 times, 1 and 2, insert it into the center, bring up a loop, wrap yarn around hook, bring it through the first 2 loops on your hook, wrap yarn around hook, bring through the next 2 loops on your hook, wrap yarn around hook, bring through the last 2 loops on the hook. We need to push that over if need be, that's okay. Then we'll work 5 single crochets to come down the side of the leaf. So insert the hook into the center, bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, bring it through both loops. That's 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Then to finish off the bottom of our leaf, we're going to work 2 more double crochets into the center of the ring, okay? So 1 double crochet and the next double crochet, okay? Then our leaf is finished, except we have to join to close the bottom. So this first stitch that you come to, we're going to join with a slip stitch. So insert the hook into that stitch, bring up a loop, now bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. Okay, you might need to shape it up a little bit, and we'll do some more shaping up at the end. What I like to do at this point, this is our tail. We can trim this so it's out of our way. So just pull that really tight, grab your scissors, and just trim that off, and that way it'll be out of your way. Okay, we're now ready to work the chain part of our lariat, this part here. So what we're going to do, now if you want yours to be longer or shorter, just add or subtract more chains to your lariat. But we're going to be making 110 chains, and that will give us the length that we need, okay? So I'm going to make a few chains just to show you. So just begin making chains. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to continue making my chains until we have a total of 110 chains. 107, 108, 109, and 110 chains. Okay, so we now have some nice length. Again, if you want to make more chains to make it longer to kind of drop a little lower when you wear it, that's fine too, okay? So let's add the leaf now at the other end. I'm going to scoot that over just a hair. So what we're going to do is, in the 4th chain from the hook, this loop here does not count. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this chain right here, we're going to work a slip stitch into that chain to create another ring to create our leaf. So insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook, and you can open up that ring to work your stitches into. So what we need to do, we have our spot where we're working right here. Let me bring that a little closer. We're working right here. This stem is kind of in our way. So we need to slip stitch kind of to the other side of that. So go ahead and work 1 slip stitch into the center of the ring. We're just going to get to where we need to be. Now kind of just let this drop down and disregard it. And then work a slip stitch on the other side of that stem. See how that stem, see how it's back here? See how I'm on the other side of that? Work a slip stitch to just get on the other side of that stem so we can get to where we need to be to work our stitches. Now we're going to work the leaf. We're ready, we're in the right spot, and we're going to work our leaf the same way that we did before, okay? So go ahead and work 2 double crochet. And now in the first leaf I showed how to make each stitch. So if you're feeling like you need to see how, you know, how I talk through each stitch, if you need to back up a little bit at this point, that's fine too. So 2 double crochet, then 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3. Whoops, let's get our stem out of the way. 4 and 5. And I'm going to just push all these over to give us a little bit more room. And then work a treble crochet to make that point, that top point. Just like that. Now come back down the other side and work 5 single crochet, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Then we're going to finish up our leaf down here at the bottom by working 2 double crochet to finish that off. So 1 and 2. Okay, so you can see our stem and our leaf. Now, come over here, still kind of ignore this, what's happening back here. And then come over to where we began and join with a slip stitch. insert the hook, bring up a loop, bring that loop through the loop already on your hook. Now these are teeny tiny and they'll need to be shaped up a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're done with our leaf. We're gonna cut our yarn and fasten off. Now you'll want to leave a little bit of a tail. I left about, 6 inches or so, because if we look at our 2 leaves, so we're done the crocheting part. Now we just need to do a little fiddling with our tapestry needle. Now this is laying nice and flat because we just went right into that chain, okay? But this, because we had to make it a little bit differently to mirror this one, it's sort of behind there right now. And we're gonna fix that up a little bit, okay? So go ahead and thread your tapestry needle. And then what you're gonna do is just kind of like sandwich that stem and this tail here. We're gonna use this tail to kind of put a little stitch there, just so it lays nice and flat. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my tapestry needle right through and then back down into that chain. And that'll just neaten it up a little bit and make it lay nice and flat. Now, my plastic needle has a very large eye on it, so I'm just going to kind of wiggle it through. There we go. The metal needles tend to slip through the yarn a little bit nicer. Okay, so, and then you can just weave in your end. Now, we still have a hole here. We had a tail that we were able to pull nice and tight to close up that hole on this leaf. So what you can do is, let me just get this woven in a little bit nicer. There we go. See how I'm giving it a little twist? If you're having trouble with your tapestry, just kind of roll it back and forth and it'll kind of work its way through. But if we want to kind of close this hole up a little bit, now some people are okay with that. I'm going to show you how to, I'm just running my tapestry needle along. This is the back of the leaf, by the way, too. I'm running it along these edge stitches on the back side where it's not going to show. Now you'll still want it to be nice and neat because as you wear it, it might move around a little bit. So I'm just going around the edge here of this hole, just like that. See? Whoops, my needle came unthreaded there. Let me just thread that back up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I just went around the perimeter of this hole on the back side of our leaf. Now it kind of works the way that tail worked, how I pulled it tight to close the hole. So you can just do the same exact thing. See how it closed that up? And then trim with your needle. So this side, you know, because we constructed it a little bit differently, it lays a little different. But if you have your tapestry needle, you can kind of fix it up a little bit. Okay, so we have our third strand. So let's grab all of our pieces here because our lariat is complete. Now again, you can do one strand like I did, like we did together, or you can create several, make yourself a nice little, kind of like a fall statement necklace, okay? So you can let the leaves hang kind of all together, but what I like to do when you put it on is just kind of make the leaves staggered at all different levels. See how they kind of cascade down? And then when you wear it, you know, they'll all kind of flutter down. I'm going to go ahead and show you a photo that I created of how I laid them on to begin with, and then how I kind of tied them together to make them kind of cascade down like falling leaves, okay? So check out these photos and then we'll wrap up our project. Okay, so as you can see, it's very easy to put this on. And what I would recommend too when you wear this is to not tie it into a really tight knot because it could distort some of these chains and it'll be more difficult to get off. And you might want to make your knot a little bit lower. You can just pop it on and off of your head, or you can just kind of loosely tie it. So that is how you crochet the Leafy Lariat. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Fiber Flux video updates. Thanks again.